Good everyone, on today's video. Today we have a Scumbag Alert on a player named Sir Godar. Now, initially, this incident was reported to me by Sir Godar. And I know what you're thinking. Why would Joe be doing a Scumbag Alert on someone who reported this incident? Well, I need to explain further, and obviously I do have a screenshot to indicate what ended up happening. So, unfortunately, I wasn't able to source the WRPL file from either person involved. I couldn't get it off of Tiger NT, who is my squadron member, and I couldn't get it off Godar because he never really responded. So, we're going to have to try a server replay. So, if there's any bugs or anything like that, I do apologise. It's not on my end, it's just how the server replays are. So, we're just going to have to give that a go. So why did this incident occur? Well, as you can probably tell, it involves this aircraft. They were both in Wyvern S4s. Now, don't get me wrong, the incident wasn't perfect from both sides of the party. Tiga went for a base steal, which is quite frowned upon by most players. However, that isn't really a reason for the incident to have occurred. This could have simply been resolved by the faster Wyvern getting to the base, dropping the bombs, and being done from there. But no. So Godar decided to escalate this incident to a point where it was unnecessary. As we're going to see, he was the one who fired the first shots. And as a result, we have a policy in my squadron, HMRM, which is my squadron. If you're new to the channel and you're not in the squadron, please do feel free to apply to the squadron. The only requirements are that you are in the Discord server, you have a microphone, doesn't matter how bad, and most importantly, you don't need to speak perfect English, because we have a few guys who are, obviously, English ain't their first language, so don't worry about that. Those are the only requirements that we need for you to join my squadron. Anyway, so typically in my squadron, I tell my people, you don't fire on anyone that's a friendly, unless you're fired upon. Typically. Now obviously there is one exception, which is kill stealing. If it is a blatant fucking kill steal, then, well, depends on the person who's done it. If it's a new player, you don't fire on them, because they necessarily don't know. But if it's someone who should know better, then fire a warning shot, and if they do it again, that's when you put them down. But that's the mindset that I try to put in to my squadron members. And Tiga perfectly did the situation, I think, perfectly. Yes, obviously he shouldn't have gone for the base steal, but that to me is irrelevant. Because the moment Sir Godar pulled the trigger and damaged Tiga NT's aircraft, this incident turned into Godar's fault. So, how about we go take a look at that screenshot, and then we'll jump to the server replay and see what actually happened. So, let's go take a look. And welcome to my desktop. As you can tell, I've only got one screenshot, because this is all that was needed to be explained here. So, I've obviously expanded the actual chat box, just so you can see it, and obviously the ITP in the background. I was working on a sub request at the time when I got this message, and he says, "Hi, your clan member Tigger NT doesn't have all the cups in the cupboard anymore. I marked my goal and he tries to take it away from me. That's not team play. He also shot me down. Please let him know that." Now initially I hadn't seen the server replay or any evidence to really suggest that Tigger NT had done anything wrong here. Obviously I obviously responded in a professional manner. I said, "Hey there, I'm sorry to hear about. Was this a team kill?" And I said, "Could you do me a favour then? Could you send me a message on Discord with the WRPL file, and I will investigate this and take action accordingly where required. My Discord is linked to my YouTube channel, as my squadron is from my YouTube channel." And then, obviously, he hadn't responded for a while, so I said to him, "If you can't find my YouTube, it's Joseph2000. I'd like to help resolve this issue and use disciplinary action where needed." Obviously, as you can tell by the tone of my voice, there was no disciplinary action needed, because at the end of the day, Tiger NT, which his username is just up there, it's not TG or TIGRNT, it's TGERNT. And yeah, he didn't need to be disciplined because he did nothing wrong, as far as I'm concerned. Yes, he shouldn't have base stealed, and to be honest, I don't really need to talk to him about that. That should just be common sense, but clearly it just didn't happen. But I then found the replay, which is obviously the server replay that you're going to be seeing in a moment, and responded accordingly. I said, I found the replay, and I'm sorry, but you was the one in the wrong here. You opened fire on him and damaged his aircraft. I'm just going to zoom in so you can read it a little bit better. And damaged his aircraft. You caused this incident. Yes, he shouldn't have tried to base steal. I ran out of characters there. You can only have a certain amount in a message on War Thunder for some reason. But you was in the wrong for opening fire on him for such a petty reason. That is unacceptable. My guys have a weapons-free policy on anyone who opens fire on them unless it's for a legitimate reason. Such as if they kill steal, yeah, I ain't defending shit. Like, you don't kill steal. And I said, base stealing whilst frowned upon is not a reason to open fire on one of my guys. It's as simple as that. You don't fire on someone for something so petty. If it was a kill steal, I'd understand. But the fact that you're trying to say that he marks his goal and he tries to take it away from me, acting like you're innocent, and then say he also shot me down, I'm sorry, Godard, but in this situation, you have lied. Yes, he did shoot you down, but you didn't realise why he'd shot you down. You don't shoot at someone and expect to get away with it. So that's why you got your just desserts. And as we're going to go see in the server replay now, yeah, I think this was a open and shut case. But anyway, I'm going to cut to the gameplay now. Obviously, well, I say gameplay, the server replay. Fingers crossed it doesn't break. And I will see you there. And welcome to the incident. Thankfully, we've had no issues with the server replay. Sometimes when I use these, they tend to be a little bit picky, to say the least. So, I'd like to point out everything that is currently in the match, and then obviously I'll close off the usual names on the thing, because you don't really need to know any further. So, in this match, we have my squadron member, who is to the left in his wyvern. We have Sir Godard in his wyvern, just here, and Sir Godard is squadded up with someone named Alpha03. Alpha doesn't get involved in this incident, don't give him shit. That's all I'm going to say here. So, what we need to pay attention to is the chat window. I'm going to leave the minimap up just to indicate what's going on here, and obviously the chat box, because that's important. So, in a moment, Sir Godard is going to mark his base. Which he is, well, I say mark, he types it into chat. Little tip, Godard, you don't want to do that. You want to hold M and then click on the base that you want. It's a faster way, and plus it guarantees that you're going to get that base. Now, as we can see, Tiger NT is currently heading towards the same base. Now, I don't know if he's going for the base steal. It looks very much like he was going for the base steal. Yeah, I can see the I don't know if you guys can, but I'm getting a bit of a jitter, but that's okay. Everything's recording fine, so that's at least something. So, I'd like to point out, as Godard is just about to make his maneuver, so I perfectly timed this pause here, they're both making their way towards the bases. Now, it looks to me, if I go to Tiger NT's perspective, it looks to me like he's lining up on the far left base, which he shouldn't have been. I'll be brutally honest. You probably should have gone for the base to the right. It's only a couple of 100 meters to the right. But that is still no excuse for what Godard is about to do. So, let's go back to him. He starts rolling his wyvern into a gun solution approach angle. He fires a burst. Obviously he's using stealth, which doesn't help his cause here. But then he damages Tiger NT's aircraft. As we can see, if we go to the default view, he has redded his wing and taken off an aileron. which means Tigger NT's aircraft is going to be harder for him to control. He's going to have less speed, and he's going to have drag to one side. Now, at this moment in time, Tigger is weapons free as far as I'm concerned. But Godar doesn't care. He's slowed him down, so now he can get his base. And my squadron member, obviously very pissed off that this has occurred, slots in behind Godar. Yeah, you can now see why I don't use server replays, because that was a lot of jittering. Jesus. But anyway. And Tigger NT proceeds to put a long burst into Godar. Doesn't kill him, but that doesn't matter. Godar gets his bombs out and then throws it into the ground. And then Tigger NT carries on to get his base. And yeah, it's still more jittering, but that's okay. And obviously Tigger's trying to keep the aircraft in control, because one aileron plus a damaged wing on a Wyvern is not easy to do. It can be done, but still. Now, I haven't actually watched beyond this point, but here we're going to see something in the chat. I didn't actually know this, because I assumed that Godar left the match after this. But I figured I'd go for the next few seconds, just to really look and give a first impression as to what I'm seeing here. So as you can see here, I'm marking the left base first, you want the right base, moron. Now, you don't call someone a moron after you just tried to TK them over a fucking base, as far as I'm concerned. So, my guy responds with, was it worth it, moron? Pretty good response, I would say. And that right there really solidifies Godar's, shall we say, personality in a way. The fact that he's insulting my guy after he just nearly TK'd him, because remember, one more hit would have blown Tigger's plane apart. And then he's trying to say that he killed him and my guy's in the wrong? I'm sorry, but that's just not true. You opened fire first, and as far as I'm concerned, my guy's weapons free. Doesn't give a matter as to what has happened here. It was over a base. You both got your bases. Does it matter who gets the left base and the slight right base? Because they're literally a couple of 100 meters apart on this map. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, Godar, you caused this incident. And as far as I'm concerned, my guy's in the right for putting you down. So, let's go and take a look at Sir Godar's player card. We like to leave this bit to the last. And, as you can see, he's played a lot of the game. You'd expect him to not be like this, in a way. And I have met Sir Godar a few times in his Wyvern, and he just seems to be pretty normal. I wouldn't expect something like this, but clearly I need to stop judging a book by its cover. He's got more matches in Big Sven. In fact, he's got like, what, 12 times as many as I do in Big Sven? And I love Big Sven as much as the next guy, but 4,700 matches? Whew. But as we can tell as well, 50% win rate on his Wyvern with 506 deaths, 480 air kills, 730 ground targets, 3 ships with just over 1 million SL made. Why did this incident need to occur when there was really no reason for it to occur? Again, base stealing is frowned upon. I understand that. But you didn't need to fire. Because firing on my guys grants you a quick death. It's as simple as that. You don't fire on my guys. Simple fact. Because we will teach you a lesson. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed seeing today's Scumbag Alert on Sir Godar. Just be mindful if you're playing your Wyvern, because if you so much as fly in the same direction as him, you'll probably get shot at by this guy. I would be very cautious around this individual. That's all I'm going to say on that regard. And don't forget, if you want to report this individual for the incident, because at the end of the day, my guy acted in self-defense, you can obviously go to complain and put it under team killer for attempted team killing or something like that. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys off. Hopefully the juddering in the server replay wasn't too bad for you, and I will see you all on the next one.